what the F moment, read it now. We're not giving virgin at all. And the writing style is not for me, basically. Too many twists. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the books I read in the month of February, which is more than I normally read. I feel like I attempted to read 13 books. I actually finished 10 and I had 2 DNFs. So we were kind of all over the place, but I have started 2 new, what I am thinking are going to be God tier series for me. It's hard to say that since I haven't finished it, but the feelings I got while reading these series is like something I feel like I haven't felt in a long time and was much needed, and I am so excited to share them with. Without further ado, we will run through this list. I do have my handy little book journal here because I can never keep track of anything. So we did try to read 13 books. From my TBR last month, I only managed to read 1, 2 of those books, so wasn't great there. Out of those books though, I did listen to I listened to 3 audiobooks, did immersive reading with 6 books, and did I read any physical books? A couple of the immersive ones I read physically, and then the other ones were just all on my Kindle. So let's dive in to this review. It's gonna be a good one. You know what, I guess we'll just start off with a bang here and go over the series that I am obsessed with. So I have read, it was actually the first book I picked up this month and I've been savoring it literally all month. The Road of Bones, the Ashen series by Demi. This series is literally everything. I have even trouble explaining how good this series is because it is that good. Now in this book, our FMC Scylla, she's basically picked up by mercenaries and heads down the Road of Bones. So it's very much giving Journey vibes. It is Viking inspired, and I don't want to really give too much away about it because I think it is good to go into this book blind. If you are a fan of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas or ACOTAR, those type of books, I think you will really, honestly really enjoy these books. It's going to be my #1 recommendation after you've read those series if you're looking to something to fill that void, because these hit on all fronts. They are exciting. They are unique. The writing is absolutely beautiful. Their narration, if you do audiobooks, is so good. I loved it. In the book 2, Kingdom of Claw, you get introduced to some new characters and you get their points of view. It is written in limited third person, but it is, I've just been loving it. This is just like Roots of Darkness is just a short little novella, and it follows one of our side characters and her story and her journey. And it's just a little teeny tiny, also so well done. The 3rd book just came out in February, Dawn of the North, and I've just started it. I'm maybe 10% in because we have a snowstorm here. So I was waiting for this to come in so I could actually do the immersive reading. But reading this book immersively, where you're listening to it and reading it at the same time, is just such a good way to do it. I just love the narration's voice. It brings it, I think, to a whole new level. It is just single narration, but just done so good. So make a long story short, if this is on your TBR, read it now. The other series, I guess we'll just go into it that way, is Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Roehrich. Now, if you've been here for a while or you're brand new, I am obsessed with the Legacy series by the same author. It is one of my God tier series. I just loved it. This one has been on my TBR for I don't even know how long, and I finally decided that I would just go for it and read it while I was waiting for Dawn of the North to come in the mail, actually. I'm 50% through book 2 right now. Hooked. I also love Melissa's writing. There's a lot of similarities in here to Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, but not in a copy and paste way. I think this book definitely stands on her own 2 feet. And when you're reading this, it is so addicting. You have to know what's going on with the story. There's flashbacks that are happening, and I love when books do that. Introduction to new worlds and gods and courts and all those things, which is just things that I personally love in a book. And like I said, I am addicted. I read this first book and it's, how big is it? 520-ish pages in less than 2 days. And that's not something I usually do, but I was so hooked into it. I did also listen to the audio at the same time, so I can usually read a lot faster when I do that. The audio on this one is just single narration, and the book is written in dual point of view, so the female narrator does do both sides. But in book 2, they actually have a male narrator as well, so he does all the male parts, and it's a great, I'm just hooked for it. It is so good. I'm excited to see where the series goes. It is completed, and I believe there's 5 books out. So I'm going to be busy for the foreseeable future, I guess. Another book that I read is The Poisoner by Ophelia, and this was a fun book. If It is a dark vampire stalker romance. So if you don't like dark romances, this is probably not something you will like because it is pretty dark. The narration on this is one of the best audiobooks I've heard in a really long time. I feel like I'm saying that with every audiobook lately, but I've heard some duds lately. So also this book is so pretty. Look at the little snake, it's sprayed edges. But this follows our MMC. She works at an apothecary. It's like in the Gilded Age, the Gilded Era, whatever you want to call it. And she basically poisons people that have done bad things. And then this vampire gets infatuated with her and the story takes off from there. Does leave you on a pretty big cliffhanger in the second book. Is Arachnid. I did get this sent to me. I haven't read it yet, but I am excited to go back and read this. I just was too invested in these other series to go and read this right now. But when our vampire is hunting our FMC, he makes like this clicking noise and you can hear it on the audio. Every time he hunts her, they put the clicking noise in there. I just think it was so fun. Yeah. For my next books, I did listen and read, I actually listened to 2 thrillers, both of them Alice Feeney. So I listened to My Husband's Wife and His and Hers. And here's the thing. This audiobook was great. It's a mix between a graphic audio and a regular narration book. There is 3 different narrators and they do like some certain sound effects. So I think it was really good. I was hooked into this book when I started. You're constantly guessing where the book is going to go. Every single chapter I feel like ends on a cliffhanger. So you want to keep going because Alice Feeney just casually drops after twist. If you've read any of her books and you know what I mean. So with this book specifically, I really did like it. I didn't rate it 5 stars, probably 4-ish stars. But I will say towards the end, when everything started coming together, there might have been too many twists. Is there a thing as too much twist? I didn't think there was, but I almost felt this book leaving a little bit confused, even though I understood where it ended, but it was like, oh, we really went that way with it. Still do 100% recommend. Same thing with His and Hers. I like this one. It's very dark though, so make sure you check your trigger warnings if you do like thrillers and you're trying to pick this one up. There is a new TV show that is out on Netflix that I'm also currently watching just to compare the two. But so far, I actually really do like the show. The book is good, but also, once again, there's so many twists, but I had so much fun reading it. There is a few uncomfy parts for me that I didn't enjoy, but that's just a personal preference. So I do recommend them. Both 4 stars, not 5-star thriller reads for me though. Another 5-star book that I read this month is A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon Spann, and I loved this book. It was so unique. If you want a unique book, this is it. Everyone always says how copy and paste romantasy is. This is not copy and paste. It kind of has like a theater vibe, and I am not a theater person. That was never my vibe, and I still enjoyed this book. But if you are a theater person, I think that you will honestly love this book. Basically, there are players that are worshipped gods and they travel around to different cities and do performances and stuff. The back says it does give Caraval and One Dark Window. So if you've read either of those 2 books, I will say that is an accurate description. The writing in here is so good though. And Shannon Spann, this is her debut novel. And I think it was so good. And it is a standalone, which makes it even better. If she writes another book set in this world, which I've heard some things happening along that, I will 100% read it. And I also heard this is getting some type of screen adaptation. So I don't know anything more about that, but I did see that. So that makes me excited. There is a major twist in here. So I was told to tab some part in Act 3. And oh my God, it was what the F moment. I did not see that twist coming, and I was looking for it the whole time because I was told there was going to be a big twist. So I was actively looking. Nope, didn't guess it. Not even close. And then I guess I'm not really calling this a DNF yet because I'm not quite there yet. I am reading Veins in Power, which is a new release. Dragons are feared, and it is a debut indie published novel, which I love supporting indie authors, but I'm struggling with this one only because I really like where the story is going. It's giving Fourth Wing, but still its own unique. But the writing style is not for me, basically. It just isn't. I don't know what else to say. It repeats itself a lot to make feel like you making the reader feel dumb because you have to repeat stuff so much. it's taking away from me enjoying the book a little bit more, but I am still intrigued by the story. So I think I am going to finish it out and see where I lie, because I think a lot of people will like the story. I think that this book did get picked up as a traditionally published, which it definitely could, because the story is there. It just needs some editing, and I think it would easily be a 4 or 5 star read for me, but right now it's probably like a 3, just because I'm struggling with the writing style, but I think that could be worked on just by editing. So those are my honest thoughts on it. I don't know. I sometimes hate saying anything negative about an indie publishedly book, so I don't know. But there you have it. I also started Amid Clowns and Bones, and if you follow me on Instagram, we had a big discussion about this on my stories, because I DNF'd this book at like, I don't know, maybe 30%, and everyone said, no, keep going. Actually, let me take that back. Not everyone. About half the comments were keep going, it's absolutely worth it, and the other half were like, no, absolutely not. I was not vibing with the main character at all. The story and the way it was written just seemed very immature to me. And overall, I usually don't mind immature in books, because I went into this after reading Road of Bones, just a quick little palate cleanser while I was waiting for another book to come in the mail. And it's a standalone, so I'm like, perfect. It's under 400 pages, a fantasy romance standalone. I know it's marketed as enemies to lovers. Perfect. That'll be like the perfect little book to read while I'm waiting. It did not hit for me. I just was really not vibing with the main character. She was supposed to be a virgin, but her actions were not giving virgin at all. And that was throwing me off. And then like I said, it was marketed as an enemies to lovers. And I could see where people kept saying that, but it was like, these were troubled kids that were like trying to each other. But then their inner dialogue is saying like, I want you, I love you, I need you so much. So it was contradicting to me, but not in a good way. So I ended up passing on that book. I don't think I'll pick it up again. Maybe if someone can convince me, because I heard it is really good if you can get past those things, but I'm not really in the mood of trying to get past things in order to enjoy a story, especially if I'm not vibing with it right off the bat. So I don't know. As far as my book of the month, this is a hard one, but for book of the month, I'm going to go series of the month, even though I've read 2 amazing series, and it is going to be the Ashen series by Demi, because I am just honestly so obsessed with that series, and I just want everyone to go read it. So, and if you've already read that series and you haven't read Lady of Darkness, then definitely go read Lady of Darkness, because that is also up there with me as well, that entire series, and it's complete. So we like a good completed series around here. No cliffhangers, no waiting, just makes for the absolute best. Let me know if you plan on adding any of these books to your TBR, or if there's any books that caught your eye, or if you've read any of these. Let's chat, let's talk, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and follow me for more fantasy, romantasy book recommendations.